Ladies and gentlemen, friends, we have with us Alaya F. I want everyone to give her a huge round of applause. One of the finest actors in Hindi cinema, a star that we all look up to when it comes to her films, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to other aspects. I think it is going to be a fabulous conversation with her. And please take a seat. Alaya, let me start by asking you about your upcoming movies. And it's not just one, there are two movies that are coming up.
Yes.
One is Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, and the other one is Shri. Tell us about both the movies.
First, conversation in English or Hindi? Or both?
You can be bilingual if you want.
Okay,
if you
ठीक
want.
है. Just confirming. Okay, I am really excited about these two movies of mine that are coming up. They're both extremely different in the genre that they're in and also in the roles that I have in them. Bade Miyan Chote Miyan is, of course, that one big masala action entertainer that I've been waiting for. I think it's going to be really exciting. And Shri is, of course, a wonderful real-life story about a very incredible man named Shrikant Bhola. And I'm acting with the amazing Rajkumar Rao in it. So, got a lot to learn, and I had a great time on both. And I hope all of you will watch it and love it.
I'm pretty sure everyone's going to go and watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
Talk about Bade Miyan Chote Miyan. What was the experience like working on that set? You have somebody, I mean, there are a couple of actors in this movie who are known to be troublemakers. Right. What was that experience like for you?
Honestly, the experience was great. You know, I really thought I was a healthy, fit person. And then I met Tiger and Akshay sir, and I think they made me realize that I am not nearly as healthy as I think I am, or as fit as I think as I am. Now, you know, when I was on my social media, if you look at it, you feel like, you know, I'm always doing something or the other in fitness. And I thought that too, you know, sometimes your social media deludes you as well. And I also got to a space where I was like, oh, I wish I was doing action in this film, because I don't get to do action in the film. But then there were these scenes where Tiger's running and doing all his action, and I'm just running behind him. And it was in Abu Dhabi. It was 45 degrees, so boiling hot. And there was these cars exploding everywhere. So this thick black smoke is coming everywhere. Just in running, I felt like I was halfway dying. I was like, thank God I don't have to do any action. It's really, really difficult. And I think Akshay sir and Tiger really set a different benchmark for what it is to be action stars and what it is to be fit. Yeah, I've realized fitness for me is a hobby, not a lifestyle like it is for them.
But you also have made it very evident for all your viewers, all your followers on Instagram, on your social media. You were working with such fit actors, like you said, but you also somebody who's, she's just being a little modest, guys. We have seen her social media, and we know how fit she is.
See, I am lots of things, but I am not modest. This is one thing I promise you. अगर मेरा कोई भी टैलेंट है तो मेरे इंस्टाग्राम पे है. मैं मॉडेस्ट तो बिल्कुल नहीं हूँ, टैलेंट को छुपाती तो बिल्कुल नहीं हूँ. This is one thing I promise. But really, because I feel like it's important for people to know that there really is a balance. I will have months where I'm waking up super early, doing 3 workouts a day and between different classes, eating very clean. But there are also many months, like this last month that I have had, where I will wake up and want pizza for breakfast, and I'll do it. I'll be like, who's going to stop me?
This is the story
I
of all
deserve
of us.
this.
This is the story of all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
one day we decide to go to the gym, we want to work out, we want to stay fit, and the next day we are having pizza like you.
Yeah, no, and you miss your morning workout sometimes because you're binge watching Netflix till 4 a.m. Hota hai.
Are you that girl?
Of course. Of course. Life would be so boring if I was only waking up and working out every day.
I mean, why is there such an impression, especially when it comes to actors, filmmakers, especially actors, I would say, that they follow a really rigorous lifestyle. They eat very clean all the time. Is it a myth that we need to address?
See, I won't speak on everyone else's behalf. I am talking about myself. I saw Tiger, and Tiger really is fit all the time. Now that's his entire lifestyle. It's quite incredible. for me, like I said, I just get bored. So I need to keep switching it up and keeps it more fun. So I won't say that I'm not fit. I do take good care of my health, and it is very important to take good care of your health and, to prioritize not only your physical health, but your mental health also. But it's also important to listen to your body. So if your body is tired, it's okay to be tired, and it's okay to take a break.
So guys, if your body tells you to have a pizza at midnight or early in the morning, please do that. This is a very important message.
Yeah, have it, but in moderation. Like have some balance.
But we're talking about young people here. We are talking about young women here. And you're very vocal about women's health. And possibly one of the very few actors that we know who is quite vocal about women's health, promoting women's health, etc. Is that a conscious choice that you make? Or is it just because it's a lifestyle that you follow, this is what you have learned, and you want to impart that to your audience?
Specify what you mean when you say women health, firstly. Generally about...
All kinds. I mean, talking about physical fitness, mental fitness. I'm talking about all those things.
I mean, I think it's just... I feel like... Can you specify your question again? Wait, I feel like I'm going to give the same answer that I gave in the last one.
No, so I basically want to ask, let's put it this way. A lot of young people, they keep themselves healthy, they keep themselves fit. पर एक time ऐसा आता है जब mentally they are not able to follow that. Mentally there is a block, and how do you navigate through that? And what is that one message you want to give to this young audience, to young people especially, to navigate through that period when there is a mental block, when they're not feeling 100% mentally?
Yeah. Honestly, take it one day at a time. I also very often have those days where I feel like I'm stuck mentally, I'm stuck physically, and when those feelings sort of come about, it almost feels like an avalanche of feelings that come towards you. You know, if one day you wake up and say you get a little less sleep, or you're a little less hydrated also one day, just see how that changes your entire mood. The next day, sleep for a few more hours, drink a little more water. Just that small active effort will make a small difference to your day. And each day, try and do one little thing. Don't bother with trying to restructure your entire routine over just one day, if that's not something that you typically do. Take it one small bit at a time, one small win every day. It's fine if it's one small win and 3 big losses also. But have that one small win that you set out to get.
You know, you are going to be my most favorite person after this session, because you're telling me to eat pizza whenever I want to. You're telling me to sleep as much as I want to. But it's important.
It is important. If it makes you feel good. Now see, if I eat pizza every single day for 10 days and sleep all day every single day for 10 days, I won't be feeling good. My body will say, bas ho gaya. So my point is, listen to your body. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's also talk about that one forbidden word, nepotism.
Yes.
And you have said this in your interviews. We have heard it from you. You have said that even in your struggles, you're privileged. What do you mean by that?
So actually, I remember exactly when I said this also. It was right when my debut film was just about to come out, and that time nepotism was the ultimate hot topic. And as a result of it, you know, it does go through your mind. You are constantly thinking about it. You are thinking about what your stance on a topic like nepotism is.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is that most of my friends are not industry people. They're either people that have absolutely nothing to do with the film industry, or they're people that are outsiders in the film industry. They're people that I met while training in my acting class, in my Kathak class, in my Hindi diction class, in my, all of these many different classes. So during that time, I grew very close to this one girl, and we were doing all our classes together. And every morning I would pick her up on my way, and we would go to Kathak class, then we'd go to Pilates, then we'd grab a quick bite at Starbucks, then we'd go somewhere else, then to another class. And then at the end of the day, she would go back to her home, I would go back to my home. Now here's where the difference happened. We both were working just as hard. We were both doing all the classes. Some days I was dragging her to the class when she wasn't. So there was no difference in the work we were putting in. So we were both giving auditions. We were both also getting rejected from auditions, from movies, from all of that. The difference was here. I got to go back home to a fully stocked fridge, food on the table, my family sitting there, us being able to discuss a role that I perhaps didn't get, them being there to console me. I don't have to worry about getting rent, getting rent money or getting money to spend on home expenses. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I didn't have to think about how I was going to pay for those classes. And I wasn't lonely.
Yeah.
As compared to my friend who went back to a PG where she was staying with 15 other girls, 3 girls to a room, where she was, figuring out her own way to fund her classes, the same exact classes that I was doing, where she was, she had no family in Bombay. In fact, she was sending money back to her family in Delhi. Now, we were both doing the same journey, the same grind of sort of doing our classes, doing our auditions, getting rejected. Struggle was there both ways, but my struggle was a privileged one. And I had a very deep awareness of that because I saw it firsthand. Most of my friends are outsiders trying to get into the industry. So actually, I perhaps relate to that side a little more because that's a side I've seen more closely. So that was for them. But I also do want to say that the longer I have been in this industry, nepotism also has its levels and layers, yeah. It's not like my nepotism got me into rooms. Yeah. Directors and producers would meet with me because, of familial whatever, and they'd all see my reel and they'd be like, हाँ, बहुत अच्छा है बेटा, बहुत अच्छे हो आप, बहुत talented हो, और फिर I'd never hear from them ever again. No one ever gave me a movie off of that. I got Jawani Janeman, my first movie, after a lot of testing and a lot of levels of all of that, the way most other people do. I was testing for about 1.5 years before I landed Jawani Janeman. So it was 1.5 years of lots of rejections also.
That is possibly one of the most honest answers I've heard when it comes to this one particular topic. So a huge round of applause for Alaya for this. This is incredible. This is absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Alaya, we are also asking questions on Twitter. So the fans, your fans, they're asking these questions on Twitter using the hashtag NDTV Yuva. And a couple of questions that I want to ask on behalf of them. One question is, how do you support and mentor young talents? And what advice do you have for the next generation of performers aiming to make a difference through their art?
My mother gave me this one very good piece of advice, which was, it was actually just a quote. I think she must have read it somewhere on Pinterest or Instagram or somewhere, but she kept repeating it to me after that. And the quote was, when preparation meets opportunity, there is success. So lots of opportunities will always come your way. For some people, it might not be lots of opportunities, might be just that one opportunity. Opportunity is luck-based. You might get 10 wonderful opportunities, you might get just one. But if you are not prepared for that moment when that opportunity hits, that opportunity will pass you by and you won't even know it's come because you will not have made the most of it. So that is my advice to the next generation that is wanting to be a part of this. Opportunities are there, just make sure you're prepared and ready to receive those opportunities because then only does something great come out of it. And what was the first part of the question?
Well, it was, what advice do you have for the next generation of performance? And how do you support and mentor young talents?
I think it will be very... support and mentor how? Like with nice encouraging words? I don't think anyone has come to me to
possibly
be mentored.
This is what they might be asking.
No, I think the main thing is, just we live in a very unique age of social media that, generations before this have not really grown up in. Even I grew up in a generation actually without social media. Social media came a little later on didn't come in my early formative years, So you're starting out at already quite a, there's a lot of information, there's lots of opinions. Figure out who you are and stick to who you are is one of the main things I'll say. You don't have to decide who you are today and stay that person. You can keep evolving, you can keep growing, but just listen to your heart. Listen to your heart and listen to your body are my two main overarching bits of advice for today.
There's another question for you. Is there any added pressure on being consistent on social media as a public figure?
Yeah, huge.
Is it?
Because actors here, this is the one thing people don't realize. We also, actors make most of our money on social media only. At least at this early stage, films don't pay nearly as well as our lovely brands and all of those things do. So if you're not consistent, your engagement drops. Because suddenly people don't want to engage with your content, your engagement drops, your brand drops.
Are you one of those people who posts things regularly because you want to keep that engagement going, or because you feel like posting that?
Both. I mean, because it hurts also when you post something that's actually really good, but because Instagram's algorithm has decided कि नहीं बहुत दिनों से post नहीं किया हम किसी को दिखाएंगे ही नहीं, and then that post that you really like does not do well, it pinches a little bit because I put a lot of effort into my social media. मैं दिल से post करती हूँ. I really connect with the things I post with. All the posts I put out are very authentically me. So. Yeah, of course I want people to engage with my posts. Of course I wanted to have good likes and comments.
Let's also have some more engagement here. There are a couple of, in fact, a lot of young people here. If any one of you want to ask a question to Alaya, you can raise your hands. We can come to you. So,
are you going to pick or do I have to pick?
No. Yes, please.
Very good afternoon, ma'am. It's
Hi.
being honored to have you here.
Thank you.
Ma'am, my question for you is like, what according to you is the most challenging aspect of being an actor?
Good question. What's your name?
Priyanshi from AFT Noida University.
Hi, Priyanshi.
Hello, ma'am.
So, the most challenging part of being an actor, it'll have to be the opinions people are always giving you. Everyone thinks that they have the best advice on how to handle your career. So whether it's some random chacha that you'll meet at some wedding who will come up to you and be like, बेटे आपको पता है आपको क्या करना चाहिए आपको actually इस तरह की pictures करनी चाहिए. I'm like, sure, thank you very much. Why don't you go and let them know? Or whether it's just no one has any idea what's going on, what's working in terms of film, what's not working in terms of film. So the same people that will give you this strong advice one week, after some other film becomes a hit, the next week they give you totally different advice. So to finally actually figure out what advice to listen to, what advice to not listen to, I think that has been really, really challenging because otherwise every 1 week you're confused again about what you want to do, what you should be doing, what type of roles you should be looking at.
But how do you filter those advices?
Honestly, I just trust my gut now. At the start, I think you're still more scared, so you're sort of just listening to everyone a little bit if they're senior enough or important enough. But a lot of the time, senior important people also give rubbish advice. And, and totally clueless people actually give you correct advice because at the end of the day, you are an actor for the audience. So sometimes the most random people will give you the best bits of advice and sometimes the most senior people will not. And sometimes vice versa also. So I think just learning to listen to your gut overall has been one of the most challenging things because everyone has an opinion and when you're an actor, everyone likes to give you their opinion also.
All right, one more question before we wrap the session. Yes.
Ma'am, good evening.
Hi.
I'm Isha Satyavali from AFT Noida. My question for you is that what struggles did you face on your starting point on your career so that the upcoming generation do not fall for it?
So I think my struggles, so to say, would perhaps be different than the struggles that someone else might face. For me, a very odd thing happened, which was that right after my first film release, the world went into a pandemic. And the entire world shut down for, 2 years? So my film released on the 31st or 30th of January, and literally a month later, we had gone into a complete lockdown. So that period of when your first film has come out and you can really capitalize on it and make the most of it, I didn't really get that phase. So suddenly everything was shut, and there was a 3-year gap between my first film and my second film. And it was really heartbreaking because my first film actually got good reviews. My performance was, well appreciated. And it could have been a great opportunity to really build on it. But instead, I had to wait another 3 years. And so through that was really the actual hardest part of my career so far. Before that, the testing, the auditioning, getting rejected, getting up, doing it again, I think that is something that almost prepares you for the industry, because even till today, I'll want to get roles and I'll go and I'll, do my best and I'll test for it and I still won't get the roles. So I feel like that whole part of my life sort of prepared me for the industry, but the pandemic, no one could have prepared me for. So that was tough.
Well, I think it has been a fascinating conversation, especially to listen to Alaya about various topics, various issues. And you have been very honest, you have been very kind to give us absolutely no filtered opinions. And we thank you for that.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Alaya, please.
Thank you. Thank you.